guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a review. It is, bam! It is a new Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. It's the collaboration with Nicole Guerriero, who's a big YouTuber. I've been subscribed to her for years and years and years, so this was one that I was really interested in. It was on my radar. It's like a collab that's been sneak peeked for ages, and this is going to be not even the newest Glow Kit, because this week they're bringing out like the second one to the Moonchild, which is the Aurora palette, so they're churning them out really quickly. But essentially, yeah, it's a glow kit. I bought this from the Anastasia Beverly Hills website. It was $40 US plus shipping. Now you can get it from Sephora Australia. So I don't think they've got it online yet. We can definitely get it in store for, I believe, $65. So if you wanted it, you can get it. Also, there was rumor, no, on the website and on Sephora, it said that this was limited edition. Now, I have heard from multiple sources, the first one being Norvina, who works at Anastasia Beverly Hills, or is like the daughter of the founder, and is like she creates all the products. Anyway, she came out on Twitter to say that it's permanent, and I believe Sephora staff are now being told that it is going to be made permanent. So if you did miss out, it's currently out of stock on the website, but it was in stock for ages. Like, it was in stock for weeks. So if you did miss out, there is plenty of opportunity to get it, so don't stress too much. But yeah, I'll link stuff down below anyway in the description box if you wanted links. Okay, so let's look at the packaging. So it's got a little slip, you take it off, and then the packaging is this sort of sparkly peachy color. It's got some really fine silver kind of micro glitter. So it is cruelty-free and vegan. It is made in PRC, which is the sneaky way of saying China, the People's Republic of China, and it contains 6 shades that each contain 4.5 grams of product. So you get a lot of product in here. It is very standard for Anastasia Beverly Hills to have this kind of format of the palette that is like a cardboard palette with a magnetic closure. So it does have a nice magnetic closure. No mirror. So it's got no mirror in the lid, so it is quite lightweight. The packaging is relatively like cheap for them to make, so it means they can keep the cost down. And those are the 6 shades. So all of these shades are designed to be for the eyes, face, and body. And they also are buildable metallic luster formula and can be applied wet or dry. So you can do that with all of these. If you didn't like all the shades, but you thought you might be able to use one as like an eyeshadow, then you know there is more versatility. The fact that you can use them on your whole body. Most highlighters you can. Generally, the rule is if something has like red pigment in it, often it's not eye safe. Sometimes things with blue pigment aren't lip safe. So generally, if people pick the right pigment, any product can be used on the eyes or all over the face, whatever. So it's not that exciting. Okay, so the first shade we have is Kitty Cat, which is described as being pink with a platinum reflect. I would agree. It's like a peachy pink with a silver shift to it. Then we have Forever Young, which is a pink pearl with a silver reflect. So once again, I don't know about this one. I would say this reminds me a lot of Opal from Becca. It is sort of like a cooler toned pink, so a more nudie kind of pink, but it almost has a softened, grey, I don't know, it's sort of similar to the first one, but not as bright, I guess. Then we have Daydream, which is a coral with a white gold reflect. I would say that this is just a peach that has a peachy shift to it, but it does have like micro glitter, possibly of white gold, aka silver, possibly. Then we also have Forever Lit, which is probably one that a lot of people are interested in. This is a platinum with a lavender reflect. I would say that this is a white with a blue shift, so similar. Then we have Glo Getter, which is a champagne with a rose reflect. I would say that that is a pretty like standard gold. It's a very yellowy, warm gold. Maybe it's got a hint of like a peachiness to it. Reminds me a little bit of Becca Champagne Pop, but it is a typical gold. And then you have 143, which is a rose gold with a bronze reflect. I would say that this is a slightly more cool toned gold, so a slightly bronzier gold, similar to how Kitty Cat is brighter and warmer, and then Forever Young is a little bit more muted and cool toned. It's the same kind of thing with Glo Getter and 143. They both are very, very similar shades. One is a bit brighter and warmer, and one is a little bit more muted and cooler, but they're very, very similar. Okay, let's get on to swatches. So this is mainly to see how they compare to each other, which will lead into my conclusion about this palette. Okay, those were the swatches. Hopefully you can see in the swatches that, I'm hoping, I haven't done the swatches yet, so I'm hoping it will demonstrate how I feel about this palette, which is, it's a very intense palette. So if you do like the really, really extreme highlighting trend, you can get that with this palette. But then again, you can tone it down slightly because they are very, very metallic, reflective. You do see skin texture, and I will swatch one on one side and another one on another side very soon so you can see that. But a lot of these have glitter. I think the only one that doesn't have glitter, I believe, is Forever Lit. The rest of them have micro glitter, and it's a bit annoying. If you don't like a glittery highlighter, I don't mind a glittery highlighter, but I know it's like the most annoying thing to some people out there. Some people will not touch a glittery highlighter. This one, it's hard because the glitter doesn't necessarily fall down and make too much mess, and it's not predominantly just glitter, so I don't mind it, but I can understand why people don't like it. So for me, a glittery highlighter that I don't like is when it's just glitter and you just get little speckles of glitter, whereas this does have the base highlighter to it that has that, you know, strong metallic shift, emphasizes skin texture, but it's a thing. But you'll definitely notice that by the end of the day, if some of the highlighter has worn off, some of the glitter stays. So it definitely has glitter. If you don't like glitter, don't go there. But I don't hate it. So I don't mind the formula of this. I have heard that if you need to intensify it, you can apply it wet. I don't know why you would need to. I find that these are too intense as they are. I would have liked them a little bit more if they were more buildable rather than just bam in your face and you kind of put it on and then just have to kind of deal with it. But I don't mind the formula. It does last a long time on the face, and you can get quite an intense glow if that's what you wanted. I do also like that there is a range of colors in here. It's hard. I kind of want to talk about the pros and then go into the cons. So there's a nice range of colors. You got some, you know, cooler shades, lighter shades, colorful. There is stuff going on for a lot of people. And I think one of the biggest pros about this is if you do have like light to medium skin or all skin, unless you're super, super, super fair, you would probably get quite decent use out of this. I have heard some people say that those two are for the light, fair to light skin, those two are for like the medium skin, and those two are for the deep skin. I actually totally disagree with that. I think I personally can wear them all. I don't like them all, so I don't want to wear them all, but on my skin, I can actually wear them all. And the reason why I think that's the case is because even though the base colors look quite dark, they all have like quite a nice reflective sheen to them. So as long as the sheen gives that kind of glow to the skin and looks potentially lighter or catches light, I find that these, anyone, well not anyone, but most people can wear them all. The catch is though, if you find that the peach one, the base color is too peachy, make sure you're wearing a blush. Like I'm wearing a blush today, and I will demonstrate some of these shortly. So as long as you've got a blush for it to meld into, it's fine. If you look at this and go, that's too bronze, as long as you've done some contouring, a little bit of bronzing, you could definitely use this. It's just a matter of making it work with your kind of makeup that you're using. You can't just go, you know, blank face with no bronzer or blush and then go into something like this if you've got light skin and expect it to look good. But you can make it work, and it does look really nice. Actually, the ones that I dislike the most are probably these guys here, because they are very, very frosty, and that clashes with my skin tone. Like I hate a frosty white. I just think it looks really, really hideous. It's very, like a lot of people like it, and I get that, but for me, it's quite jarring and it looks silly. So I would actually prefer these four here than those two here, because this one also has that kind of silvery finish as well, that can be a little bit jarring. It's a lot nicer and a lot more subtle, but it's not my personal preference, but I can still wear them if I wanted to. Another really good thing that you can do is you can mix and match, of course. So if you wanted to start getting some use out of this, but you just couldn't, you could mix Forever Lit with it. It will cool it down a lot, because once again, if you go for a shade that has like a blue iridescence to it, it's going to make something look a lot cooler, but it definitely does give you more of a potentially wearable kind of look. So you can definitely mix and match, and I think the people that say that this is designed for all skin types and you can only use certain shades for certain skin types, I think that they've got their blinkers on, and they're not looking at what you can potentially do with this palette to make it work for you. And I've tried all shades, and I don't love them all, like I said, but they all can definitely work on my skin tone. And I'm something like an NC25, so I'm not the fairest of the fair, but I'm definitely not into the tanned or medium skin tone at all, and I can easily wear these. In fact, Daydream is probably my favorite one out of the whole palette. So yeah, I think it's a lot more wearable than people give it credit for. The last thing that I love about this is that it is great value for money. So you're getting a total of 27 grams of product, which is a huge amount of product. The only palettes that I can think of that give you better value for money are the Anastasia 4-pan palettes, because these each contain 4.5 grams of product. The 4-pan palettes contain 7 grams per pan, which is crazy. It's a lot of product. If you think of it in terms of other standard highlighters, I keep going to reference Becca, I don't know why, but the Becca highlighters contain 8 grams. So this is 4.5 grams, but you're getting 6 of them. And the 4-pan palettes, you're getting 7 grams in each pan. So these are great value for $40 US or 65 Australian dollars. You can't beat the amount of product you get. So even if you didn't like one shade, it is probably still worth keeping or buying, because you get a lot of product regardless. So those are my favorite things about this. Before I go on to the things I don't like about this, I do want to show you that you can use, like on my skin tone, I can kind of use the kind of lighter shades and the deeper shades. So I'm going to use Forever Lit as a demonstration, and then I might also go in, I don't know if I should use that one or my favorite one. I really like that peachy one. I kind of want to demonstrate it. So maybe I'll go peachy and I'll go Forever Lit, and I'll just show you that you can work with them. I might not like the final look, but you can definitely work with them. Okay, let's go with Forever Lit on this side. So once again, it's got that kind of purpley blue shift to it. So it can look really, really frosty if you've got kind of yellow tones to your skin, or you just prefer warmer toned products, which I do prefer. So you can, look, it does work on me. I don't like the color. but it does give that, I've softened that down a lot. You can build it up if you wanted to. Let's build it up a bit more, shall we? Oh, drop it. So that's it built up slightly. I could definitely build it up more. I don't really want to, but you can see that it can work. It just isn't what I like. It looks a bit frosty. I don't love it. I might actually go in with another shade like Glo Getter down the bottom here just to kind of warm it up a little bit because it's a bit much for me. But once again, this is a way that you can kind of mix and match and just make the highlighters work for you. I actually much prefer the deeper shade. So let's go into Daydream, which is the peach shade here. This is my favorite one. I find this the most flattering on my skin. If you looked at my skin, most people will say that one shouldn't be for you, but I think it works quite nicely. So I do have some blush on, and I'm just going to put that on now. And I think because it's got that kind of pinky gold reflect to it, like that peachy gold reflect, I think it just works a lot better on my skin tone, and it sort of melds into my skin, giving a glow, rather than looking like Frosty the Snowman. So yeah, people that kind of say you can't use the deeper shades, I think that's completely inaccurate. And even if you don't want to mix and match to create your perfect shade, you can just wear it and it looks all right. I've just gone in with some of the darker shade as well because I thought I may as well show that a little bit, shall we? So once again, it's just adding some intensity. It's changing the color to more of a gold color, more of a bronze color, but once again, you can definitely use it. So it definitely does have a slight kind of deeper color underneath, but because there is so much metallic reflect, you can barely see it. So that's the deeper shades, which I actually prefer the look of, even though I've got lighter skin, and those are the lighter shades, which I don't love so much. I might even that out a bit because it looks, I don't like these ones. So even though I do say that I can sort of use all the shades roundabout, like this one I don't like, and if you've got really, really deep skin, that will look really, really like chalky on you, but you can mix it with other things, or you can use it as an eyeshadow. Same as if you've got the fairest of the fair skin, you can probably use those 3 shades and then use these as eyeshadows if you wish, or blush toppers, or whatever you want to do. So you can use it. I just don't think that this is the best thought out palette. They don't all really work super well together. I don't get it. And also these 2 shades look pretty much the same. It's a pink with a silver shift. So you don't need them both in the palette. Same as this one and that one. They are both gold, like gold bronzy colors with a gold shift and glitter in it. Like you don't need 2 of each because they are just repetitive. And the people that will tell the difference between a slightly cooler pink versus a slightly brighter pink and a slightly warmer gold versus a slightly more bronzy gold are the people that have the fairest of the fair skin, and you won't want to use these shades as highlighters anyway. So since there are those double ups, you definitely don't need this to be a 6-pan palette. You could definitely get rid of this shade and that shade, or this shade and that shade, or whatever, and have it a 4-pan palette because there are just redundant shades going on here. So I don't think it was the most well thought out. I sort of can think about, I think, oh, how did they come up with this palette? And I go, oh, they probably thought, okay, fair, medium, deep, cool, and then cool shades, warm shades. Okay, cool. But even with that logic behind it, one person won't love all these shades. And even though I did say that I can theoretically wear them all, I don't love them all. The only one I love is pretty much Daydream, and I don't mind Glo Getter. The rest of the shades I'm just like, I don't want to reach for. So for me, this was a miss in a sense that the glittery formula wasn't the nicest. The kind of really metallic skin texture-y kind of thing going on isn't the nicest, and the shades just don't make much sense to me. I don't love them all. I don't want to reach for them all. And yeah, I don't know. So like a lot of makeup that I've been trying recently, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I'm just out in between where I go, okay, it's nice and it's usable and it's decent value for money because you get a lot of product and it doesn't cost too much money. But at the same time, I kind of wish I was blown away by it because Nicole Guerriero always has like crazy amazing makeup, and I don't even know why she picked half of these shades. I just find it really, really bizarre, the colors that they chose, and I just keep thinking, if I'm doing my makeup in the morning, is there any one shade in here that I want to reach for? Or is there more than one? And the thing is, there is one. I really like that Daydream shade because it's a really beautiful peach, and I love kind of like warm, glowy, beautiful highlighters. But the rest of it, I'm either like, I've seen it before, it doesn't really suit me, it kind of looks really extreme and textured and weird, or I don't know, I'm just not inspired by them. So even though I see the value of money being good, I like the people that created it, like Anastasia, I like Nicole Guerriero, I just had higher expectations about this, and it's not the glitter, because I can look past that. It's more of the weird shade combinations. I don't know. I guess my take home message is it is a good value for money palette. All the Anastasia ones are, so they're worth like checking out if you're a highlighter fanatic. I heard that this formula is not as good as the originals, like the 4-pan originals. I don't have one of those, so I can't compare, but these are glittery and I hear that those aren't. So I would recommend this to people that either are a collector of the glow kits and want to, you know, keep up with their collection and just put it as a collector's item, or if you're a fan of Nicole Guerriero, or if you love the shades. But I don't know who would love all these shades because they just seem so strange. I don't know. Anyway, if you like the colors in it, definitely go check it out. It is more wearable than it sort of looks in the pan. Don't be scared by like the deeper shades. They're actually really beautiful. But I don't know, if you love it, go get it, but I'm a bit confused by it. And even though I will probably reach for it in the future, I'm sure it's going to go in a drawer, which is sad. So that's my review. I feel like it's a little bit jumbled, but I'm just feeling like at this point in time, there's a lot of releases that are happening that I'm not in love with. I think I can see that they're decent and I want to love them, but for some reason I just don't love them. And this is like, yeah, that's typical of this. I am about to film my favorites video, so you'll see that later this week. And this is not going to be mentioned in my favorites. It's also not going to be a fail because it's just eh. It's eh. So anyway, if you've got this palette, let me know what you think of it. If you haven't got it for a reason, let me know why. I would love to know your thoughts on this palette. And if you haven't done so already, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.